Everyone, it's Misty Bogard here with Arthur Dietrich. He's the owner of King Arthur's Collectibles here at 304 13th Street North, and Art's going to tell us a little bit about his business.
So yes, it's a sports collectibles store primarily. That's what I specialize in, but I do a little of everything. Like I have a good selection of comics, toys, and various other collectibles. And yeah, I do stuff like game worn jerseys, autographs, sports cards, of course. Yeah, like all that different sports memorabilia is what I really have a lot of and specialize in. And yeah, I do a lot of retro comics and stuff. I don't have much new stuff, but yeah, I'm toys. Big selection of pretty much anything collectible. I don't do Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic the Gathering or any of that stuff. I do want to say that now before I get a bunch of questions about that. It's pretty popular and just not my thing.
Not just your thing. Perfect. That's awesome. So what made you decide to open the business, Arthur?
I've been doing this my whole life. I've been a collector of sorts my whole life. Like I started collecting cards. My first cards were like Star Wars in 1977.
Oh wow!
Then I got into hockey once I got a little older and sports cards, and through grade school, and then in junior high I got into comics, and high school it was back to sports cards because that's when the 90s boom happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, kind of dating myself, but yeah, it goes back a long way with me. And yeah, it's not my first business I've ran, but yeah, sports collectibles and just collectibles in general has always been my thing. My mom used to be an antique hunter too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, some of her antiques kind of vanished over the years just with moves, but we did have some of it. Sold off some of it in my store. Don't have too much for that left, and there's a few other antique shops that are close by, so I kind of leave that up to them.
For sure. Cool. So what drives you? What gets you here every morning? What's your passion?
Just doing something I enjoy. Like sports cards shop was something that's been on the back burner for a while for me. So it's just a matter of getting going, starting a new business, change, just the future.
Nice.
The thought of a better future, and things are picking up. So yeah,
That's amazing. That's really great. So what surprised you most about owning a business?
Just the fact actually that I'm still here. And I know that sounds kind of bad, but yeah, I came into this with a short-term business plan, and if it worked out, it worked out. Like I knew maybe it might last, maybe it won't. I didn't have high hopes even, but it was something I always wanted to do, and I had a ton of stuff, and like I got sick of eBay, and I decided this was something that I'd just put off long enough. I had another collectible shop, unrelated stuff. I bought into a business with a friend of mine. And
Yeah.
I sold off all the inventory, but I ended up with all the cabinets and the cash register and all the stuff that it took to start this, and I had it in storage. So it was one of those things that came about and was something that was going to be sooner or later anyways. I even joked with my family, my son and his mom used to be like, yeah, well, he's gonna have it in his store. Like, yeah, they didn't, like I've been talking about it for a while, and yeah, finally I made it happen, and it's actually working out too, so
That's really tremendous.
Good stuff.
Cool. So have you had any odd requests from people? I mean, I know.
Yeah, I get this question, and my favorite one is someone tried to sell me Grant Fuhr's sleeping bag. Like that,
oh wow!
Yeah, that one takes the cake for me. That's the story I always tell for the oddest request. It was actually signed by him, and I think it did have an Oilers logo on it or something. But yeah, I was like, no, I'm good on that one. Yeah, like it was weird the way the whole conversation came about. The guy started out by like messaged me to like cut down this autographed Gretzky piece I had, and I don't know, it's a long story, but yeah, he starts out the conversation more or less trying to start an argument with me. Then he starts trying to sell me stuff. Like gets on a bad foot with me, and then yeah, tries to sell me Grant Fuhr's sleeping bag and a couple other items I declined. But
yeah, for sure. So, do you have some goals over the next year that you're working towards?
Just keeping up with the hobby. It's ever changing, and just staying knowledgeable and getting some more stuff in, and just the usual stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on in the hobby right now. Like, people do videos just on this. Like, there's grading cards and stuff like that. Should I or shouldn't I? There's all sorts of information out there on collecting and like where to get started, how to sell your stuff, all this different stuff out there. Everyone has their own theories or which sites to use, so people can do their homework, and it's really to each their own. I don't read too much into it, and the whole grading thing, like the debate about that, like it's an unregulated industry.
Yeah.
And therefore, it breeds corruption, and I know it's there, and it's obvious. Maybe it'll come to light, but I don't know how long term this grading thing will be, or how it's gonna ultimately turn out. Like, it seems like it's a bit of a scam, but yeah, I don't know. It's a necessary evil of the business right now. But I know a lot of card collectors will like this part or know about this part of the video. It's a big debate in the industry right now, the grading thing. And, like, basically, something grading a 9 or an 8 on a Gretzky rookie can make a difference between a 0 and the price. Like, take it from a 5-figure to a 6-figure card. So
that's incredible.
It's something that small and it's unregulated. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that there might be something going on there. But
So, is there a highest high you've had in business?
Buying out large collections and moving them and selling them is always interesting. Going through big collections and stuff, it's always a nice rush when you get a chance to bring in a lot of new inventory. And things like that is always good. I bought out a long-time local collector who I had bought in had a business relationship with in the past and stuff, and guy I'd known. And that was an interesting collection too.
I can imagine. Yeah, neat. And how long have you been here in Lethbridge?
My whole life, pretty much. Like, I'm born and raised here.
Nice.
My dad was also born and raised here.
Okay.
And it was just, I've moved away to Calgary for a couple years here and there, a couple different times. In Vancouver, I was there for about a year and a half, too. So, there's been about, say, 3-4 years where I've been away from Lethbridge, but for the 90% of my life I've been here.
Yeah. What do you love most about Lethbridge?
That's hard to say. No, it's just an easy place to get around. I know everyone.
It really is.
When you grow up here, you know a lot of people.
Yeah.
And like, it's very easy to get around in, and it kind of still has a small city feel.
Yeah.
That's changing, but that's another debate.
Yeah, well, that's really what attracted us to Lethbridge too, exactly those things.
Yeah,
so.
and I'm going to say this on camera, I've had 2 break-ins in the last year, this year. I've been here almost 3 years. Both of them have been this year. One at Easter, one about 3-4 weeks ago. So it's still kind of fresh in my mind. And it's not pleasant, but I got bars on the windows now, and I've stepped up security, and most of the other shops on the block like mine have bars. So, and this neighborhood has been what it was. Like, I've lived here my whole life. It's always been kind of a, we'll say, bad neighborhood, but it's not a ghetto or anything. I've lived here long enough. I'm not ashamed to say it, but
I think every city nowadays has its struggles, I guess, and really, we're no different here than many other cities.
It happens and stuff. Sure.
What's your favorite restaurant? Do you have a favorite?
Well, I'll put in a plug for Luigi's next door. I do a lot of business with them and whatnot, and they're up there. And Ricky's is a good breakfast restaurant.
For sure.
There's a lot of them actually. Like, obviously the nice ones like the Keg and stuff like that. But
for sure.
I do eat out a lot, so
I love eating out.
I've got my places that I like. I actually like that buffet for Japanese food too.
Oh, okay. I'll have to get some names from you.
Yeah,
I love that.
Makasu.
Okay. And what do you do besides work?
Raise my son. I used to play a lot of hockey, and once he started hockey, I kind of slowed down on playing. I do miss it. I do need to get more active again. And my son's going to switch up sports, but I have a son, and
That's
a
awesome.
family, and just, I do family stuff, and I do a lot of stuff outside of the store on eBay too.
Okay.
I quit. I started this place because I got tired of eBay. Then I realized eBay wasn't so bad.
It has its uses.
Yeah, I needed to go back to it too, because you can go so far locally, but having access to a bigger variety of audience, especially with sports cards, which is a regional thing.
Yeah.
Like, everyone knows the Flames and Oilers, that stuff's gonna sell around here. But
for sure.
is someone from Lethbridge gonna like the Florida Panthers? There might be a few
Maybe.
guys, but I'm not
exactly.
gonna get top dollar for, say, just a quick example, but
Yeah. Is there someone from your childhood that had a big impact on you?
No, I'll just go with the textbook one, my dad.
Dads are pretty amazing.
Yeah, he died when I was 17, so he was there for my formative years, just not as an adult, but I found my own way, and it's been good. And of course my mom, like she's been the biggest one. Like, I had to say my dad because he's no longer with me, but my mom, of course, is number one. She's actually in the hospital right now, so I'll definitely give her well wishes.
Perfect.
And she's doing better though. She broke her hip and had an infection, had to get a couple surgeries, but she's doing better, and lots of help from relatives and stuff. That's been
that's
good.
great.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that's really wonderful about being in your hometown, is there's so much support and help around.
Some of my mom's relatives have traveled from far to even help her, like an aunt from Utah's in town, and my uncle from Blairmore has been in a few times.
Oh, nice.
And another aunt from Calgary.
So, if a young person asked you for advice on how to live their life, what would you tell them?
Just live it to the fullest, and don't listen to what other people think. Do what pleases you. Live life for yourself. Don't be completely selfish, but doing what's right for you, using your own head to think, and I don't know, a lot of people I find rely too much on others for advice, and I think just thinking for yourself is important.
That's very good advice. That's great. Why is it important for people to shop local?
Well, it's ideal because it keeps the money in the local economy. That's the easy answer. But it creates relationships and ties in the community, and just stuff like that. It's good. I try and support local when I can.
Absolutely.
But it's hard for some people. There's places like Costco that everyone likes, and
of course.
But of course they employ local people too.
They do. They do. Absolutely. For sure. Is there anything exciting coming up in the business that you'd like customers to know about?
I've been getting in a lot of sealed new product, and I wasn't bringing in sealed stuff for a while, like unopened boxes and packs, things like that. I got a lot of new stuff on the shelf. Mostly retail stuff. There's two different types of boxes that collectors buy. There's hobby boxes, retail boxes. I'm just stocking retail right now. Maybe I'll get back into the hobby stuff sometime, but it's a little pricey right now. So
for sure. What's a good way for people to get a hold of you?
They just come to the shop, like you said, 304 13th Street North. My cell phone number is 403-795-6683, and I also have a Facebook page for King Arthur's Collectibles. I'm on Instagram too, and I do have an excellent eBay store, and it's called King Arthur's Collectibles Canada, and my eBay handle is Artie Cool Ones. But you can find it under the name of the store, which I said, King Arthur's Collectibles Canada.
Perfect. That's really awesome. Thank you so much, Arthur. I really appreciate your time, and I'm glad that we got to promote your business, and looking forward to seeing the video.
All right, thank you for your time, and I've enjoyed this as well.
Great.